The market is sleeping, but the money's still moving. While everybody else is reacting to Monday's headlines, we're using Sunday to map the math. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, welcome. I'm your host, Matt Riches. This is the Sunday charting session for our $1 trillion ticker broadcast. Welcome to the family. We aren't here to gamble. We're here to master this machine. If you're here to build generational legacy, drop $1 trillion in the comments right now. Let me get into the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I'm the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earning is too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable, I am skilled, I am bold. Blessings on my journey as the vision unfolds. Let's go, y'all. Let's get into this Robert Greene law for January 2026, January 25th. Today's law from Robert Greene is a reminder for every trader and investor in the $1 trillion tickers family. Success isn't a lightning bolt. It's a process. Greene tells us humans often see the end result of success, but they miss the internal changes, the building of the skills, the discipline of the habits. Before you see the millions in your brokerage account, you have to see the changes in your mind. Focus on internal growth today, little by little, and the external wealth will follow. Ask yourself, what would I work on if no one was looking and money was no object? That's your life task. Let's get into these charts, y'all. Quick reminder and disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This charting session is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research. Let's look at these candles. Let's get into it. So, yesterday we charted the $1 trillion tickers. So if you want to see the most valuable companies in the world that we charted yesterday, you would check out yesterday's live stream. So today we're going to get into the SPY and QQQ and XLF and XLK to start. And we'll see where we go from there. But if you want to check out the $1 trillion tickers, we charted those yesterday on the show live. So shout out to everybody on YouTube Live and TikTok Live. Alright, so let's get into these charts, y'all. First one we're starting out with is SPY. The SPY, the S&P 500. Let me take this algo off. We'll turn it on later. Wow, look at this. This is a daily chart. Every candle is one day, y'all. Look, this was the April lows from the Trump tariffs. And it's been all upside ever since then. Though it has slowed down. Alright, so the first thing we want to do when we chart, let's go to the weekly chart and let's go to the line chart. Alright, and then we want to look for big reactions in price. So the way we can find it easier is by stretching the chart out. Alright, and the first thing I see here is going to be this previous all-time high that came from here. So I'm going to put a weekly level right there. Oh, Let me go ahead and delete these. Go ahead and delete them old lines, y'all. Because we are charting from scratch. All right. Let me go ahead and roll that down to the nearest 10 cent. All right, so we got our weekly level there. We got our weekly reaction here. So basically when it comes to charting, it's just where did price react? Where'd you get a big reaction in price? Okay. We had a big reaction here as well. And another thing you can do when it comes to charting, so this is the TradingView platform. It is a free platform. They do have tiers that you can pay for, but if you just go on his website, it is free. So this is the magnet tool. So this allows price to snap to the closest value that you're looking for. So I don't have to go exactly on here because the magnet will snap it to it. It's a very useful tool when it comes to charting. All right, now let's go to the daily, y'all. Let's go to the daily. Let's see if we can find some more price reactions. Let's go ahead and put the all-time high up there right quick. All right, that's an all-time high. And then where the price have a big reaction, definitely right here. This bounce. Let's go ahead and roll that up to the nearest 10 cent. Definitely right here. We had another bounce. So it's not crazy, y'all. It's not crazy finding these levels. It's just where the price react. You know what I mean? Alright, so that's what we got. It ain't nothing crazy. We see price came down here, bounce. When it came right here, bounce. When it came right here, bounce. So that's our levels to the downside. We did have a reaction here. So I could put one. Let's add one more, y'all. Go ahead and round that. All right, so that's what we got. Let me see. Yeah, that's definitely a level right there. It's really this reaction from when price came down here, came up, and sold off. Yeah, that's the reaction we want to mark on the chart right there. All right. So after we do that, and then we go to the candles, y'all. Okay, so SPY, current price, 698.23 cents. So to the downside, support levels. Where am I expecting SPY to bounce if price sells off next week? I do have a level here at 685.70, followed by a weekly level at 682, and a daily level here at 677. Now to the upside, I do see some resistance here at 692.20, followed by 694.10, and then the all-time high 696.09. So that's it, y'all. It ain't nothing to it. Where the price react, expect price to react there again. All right, so let's check out the algo. Let's see what the algo says. Oh, before we check out the algo, let me see if there's any trend lines we can draw. Trend lines are very useful as well. This previous lower low is definitely trend line worthy there. And then this previous higher high right here is trend line worthy. Let's see. Looking good right there, y'all. All right, so that's our support trend line and our resistance trend line. All right, so it had a nice bounce on our support, and now it's heading to the upside. We do have big earnings, big tech earnings next week, y'all. Half of the Mag 7 is reporting on Wednesday. I think 3 of the Mag 7 are reporting on Wednesday, y'all. All right, let's check out the algo. This is brought to you by Level Up Algo. So the last signal on the daily was this strong sell. It was because of this gap down that happened. And after the gap down, price did reverse. So you got to watch out for these gaps because they be tricking the algo, y'all. Because look where price came from, $6.93. And then it opened up $10 lower. So that kind of gap down will definitely fake out the algo, y'all. So let's see if we got a buy on the 4 hour, a smaller time frame. After this gap down, now let's check out the recovery. So we did have a buy here at 686.90. And then it did hit TP1 and TP2, almost TP3. So it's still looking bullish, y'all. These are our trend indicators. Short-term bullish, long-term bullish, consolidation bullish. MACD is bullish. So the RSI and the stochastic are both bearish. The volume is low. But overall, we're still bullish on the SPY, y'all, going into next week. All right, let's check out the QQQ. Okay, we're going to go ahead and delete everything. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to start on the weekly chart, y'all. You see that same climb that we had on SPY, we got the same thing on the QQQ. Why is that? Because the SPY is the top 500 companies on the market as far as market cap. And the QQQ is the top 100 technology companies. So, you know, technology runs the market. So where technology goes, the market goes for the most part. So that's why you see their charts are very similar. All right, so let's check out the weekly chart and let's find some places where price reacted, y'all. Where did price react? Definitely see a big reaction here and a big reaction here. So we go ahead and put that on there. We'll go ahead and round up. There we are. Got this resistance. Yeah, the Q's definitely been facing a lot of resistance, man. I've been waiting for this thing to run back up. But as you can see, look, resistance, 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 resistance. Man, we gotta break through that. We gotta break through that, y'all. Alright, so we did have a big reaction here. Go ahead and put this there as well. Okay, let's go with the daily, y'all. You see that? Man, this thing been in this range for the longest. Since when? Since November. Since early November, it's been in this range. It did break under, but it's right back in this range, y'all. So technology just been chopping. It's been chopping for the past few months, y'all. We need this thing to break out for real. Alright, we did have a nice bounce right here, though. Let's go ahead and put this daily level right here. Let's go ahead and round down, round up. There we are. Let's see. Yep, we got another one right there, y'all. 55. Let's go ahead and round up. I like this bounce right here too. Oh, this music is brought to you by Matt Rich's 510 AI Music. I got a lot of good records, y'all. I got a lot of good records. Check me out on YouTube. Okay, let's go ahead and put the all-time high up here. There we go. Let's see. Did have a big reaction right there too. Okay. It's been so choppy, man. Alright. We're gonna round this one down, y'all. Alright, so QQQ. That's what we got. Current price $622.72. Support levels. First one I got is $619.60, followed by $613.10, $608.10, and then a weekly level here at $603.20. To the upside, we have resistance at $627.10, followed by weekly resistance at $629.10, daily resistance at $632, and then the all-time high, y'all. Let's see if we can get back to all-time highs this week with these tech earnings. Hopefully we'll have some great tech earnings and guidances to send us into February bullish, even though February is normally a red month. All right, there we have our trend line, support trend line. All I did was draw it from the bottom of the wick and connect it, y'all. That's all I did. You can do it too. It's nothing crazy. What I do, I went to the top wick, came to this top, there we are. That's our resistance trend line. So hopefully we'll get a nice breakout, but you know, we got double resistance right here. We got the diagonal resistance and we got the weekly resistance. So it's gonna be tough to break through that, but earnings is definitely a time that we can do it. It's definitely gonna give us that volume and that price reaction. All right, so let's check out the algo. Let's see what the algo has to say on the daily. All right, so this is the same thing that happened to SPY. Once we had this gap down, then it faked out the algo, y'all. So the algo can get faked out just like humans. These algos ain't perfect. All right, but let's check out the 4 hours, see what we got. We did have a buy here on Wednesday in the aftermarket. So this is actually more bullish than SPY because the RSI is still bullish. Remember when we looked at SPY, the RSI was bearish. So we have the trend is bullish. The momentum is mostly bullish, except the stochastic is red. All right, so that's what we got on QQQ, y'all. Is that making sense? All right. Let's check out the Dow Jones Industrial ETF. Let's do that right quick, y'all. I don't even have this charted, but we're gonna chart it. Let's check out the weekly. As you can see, it's been running up since April as well, y'all. All right, See, I see a big reaction here. Go ahead and put that weekly level right there. Oh, I did chart this. Go ahead and delete that. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and round up. Let's see. Let's go on a daily. I don't really see too much reaction here, y'all. So because I don't see too much reaction, I'm gonna just go ahead and go to a smaller time frame and see if I can find better reaction. Like this sell off here, that's definitely a level. Let's go ahead and round up. And then this bounce right here, that's definitely a level. Let's go ahead and round up. Let's see. Definitely got some resistance right there, y'all. Let's go ahead and round up. But we close to all-time highs on here too, though, y'all. Where the price react is what you have to think about when it comes to charting. All right, let's go to the candlesticks now. Let's go. Let me put the all-time high on here. All right, so that's it, y'all. That's it. This is the DIA, Dow Jones Industrial ETF, brought to you by State Street. Current price $490.93. We got some support here at 490, followed by 484, 482.80. Then to the upside, I got some resistance here at 494.50. And as you can see, it's a lot of chop. It's a lot of chop in this area, so it's gonna be hard to break through. But once it does, we're gonna see all-time highs, y'all. Let's see if we got any trend lines we can draw here. There we are. We got our support trend line there. I don't really see. I don't really like the resistance trend line. Yeah, maybe. Let me see. Let's do it, y'all. It works. It works, y'all. All right, so that's what we got. That's what we got on the DIA. Check out the algo on the daily. So the DIA, the last time it had a buy was here in November. So looks like it. When it comes to this algo, if price continues to trend higher, it will give you a second entry point. So this is definitely the second entry point because the first entry point would have been right here off this candle. So it hit all three, and then it gave you a second entry here. So it has hit TP1, and it's just been chopping in this TP1 range. Okay, so let's go to the 4 hour and see if we have a more recent signal. We do. It was Wednesday, January 21st. We had a buy signal at 9 a.m. So if you got in, you were able to take profits the next day, TP1. A $5 move, y'all. So that's what we got. That's what we got. All right, let's go to XLK. What do we got on XLK, y'all? XLK is our technology ETF. Oh, that's a lot of lines on there, y'all. But I'm going to draw for y'all anyway. Alright, where do we have big price reaction? You can see it was struggling to get over this. But once it did, that thing ran. Alright, so I see a big reaction here and a big reaction here off top. Alright. There's that. And there's that one. As you can see, this is just not a lot of movement here. Not a lot of movement at all. Alright. Let's see what we got. Let's go to the daily. I don't really see much else. See? It's just been chopping in this area. Wow. Since September. Sheesh. Look at this, y'all. Since September 25, XLK has been in this range. This $14 range, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy. Alright, so. Man, it would be nice to sell some covered calls on this thing. Alright, let's round up. Definitely had a reaction there as well. Let's go ahead and round up. There we are. And then look, reject, 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 which is also a reject here. That's a lot. That's a lot right there, y'all. It was struggling heavy to get over this level. Heavy, y'all, heavy. Heavy resistance right there. Yeah, this looks like another level here, y'all. That's based on this, 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 and this. Alright, and then we got this rejection here. Alright, there we go. Shout out everybody on YouTube Live and TikTok Live. Oh, we got a question in the chat. Do they offer dividends? Yes, for sure. They do. They do offer dividends on the SPY and the Qs. Shout out to that question in the chat. What's up, boy? Yeah, they definitely paying dividends, bro. But you ain't gotta buy the expensive one. Like, I got some mini ones that you can buy. Like instead of buying SPY, let me finish this. I'll get right back to that question, bro. All right, let's go on the candlesticks. So we got let me put the all-time high on here. All right, let me draw this trend line. It's our support level. Oh, we got some resistance right there, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna need XLK to break out of this resistance. So that's what I see. That's what I see right here, y'all. Alright, so we had a nice bounce on this trend line. And now we headed to the upside. So right now, XLK, 145.09. Support, we got 144. We also got this diagonal trend line followed by 141.90. It breaks that, 139.40, y'all. And then to the upside, we got double resistance. We got the resistance trend line, the diagonal trend line, and we also got this daily level at 146.80. And then once we break that, then we got 148.70 followed by 150.30, and then all-time highs. All right, let's see what we got on the algo, y'all. What is the algo telling us? So it had a gap down here. So this the last time we had a call on the algo was back in mid-December, so that's too long ago. So we got to go to a smaller time frame and see if we have a more recent signal from our algo, y'all. So we did get a signal here. It was at 1 a.m. So I prefer the signals that are when the market is open. So we're not gonna go with that signal either. But what do I see here? I see a lot of consolidation. That's what I see. If you want to look at this here, this range, it was just ranging for hella long. That's what I see for XLK, y'all. We've just been consolidating for hella long, and we need a breakout. Well, if you look at the date that this consolidation started, this was the end of the year. So, you know, at the end of the year, the last couple of weeks, it's usually low volume. So that low volume has made us just chop. So, yeah, that would have been a good time to sell some covered calls. All right, so that's what I got for XLK, y'all. Let me address this question in the chat. So we did go over SPY. We did go over SPY earlier, and then let me pull it up right here. So SPY, they charging $689, y'all, for one share. This is the State Street, the Spider Fund. So you don't have to buy that one. You can buy SPYM. Which is the same company, State Street, Spider. And it costs $81. So do not buy SPY for $689. Do not do that. Just buy SPYM for $81. You could get way more shares for the same price. Look, here go the dividend. So they pay 23 cents per share that you own. So the ex-dividend date was Friday, December 26th. So that means you had to own it by the 25th. You had to own it by the 25th. Now, the 25th was a holiday, so you wouldn't have been able to buy it. So you would have had to own it by the 24th. So that's how the ex-dividend date works. You have to own the shares before the actual ex-dividend date. And then you are eligible to receive the dividend, which would have been 23 cents per share. And then you would have got paid on Tuesday the 30th. So that's why you should buy SPYM. It's way cheaper, so you can get way more shares. All right, but let's check out SPY and check out the dividend for SPY. Okay, dividend for SPY, $1.99, almost $2, but you got to pay $600, damn near $700 a share. So you got to decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to spend $689 a share so you can get $1.99 dividend, or do you want to spend $81 a share and get a 23-cent dividend? I'm gonna let you do the math on that, Brody. All right, next one we got XLF. All right, let me erase this. All right, let's go to the weekly chart. Let's see what we got. Where did price react? I definitely see a big reaction here. There's my magnet. There we go. All right, got a big reaction here. So this is XLF. This is the financial sector. That's all the banks and stuff. JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Capital One, Berkshire B. All the big banks. Citibank, Bank of America. All right. Go ahead and roll that down. All right. Let's see. Did have a big reaction there. Let's go to the daily. Let's see what we got on the daily, y'all. Definitely got a level right there. Okay, so I put this right here based on this. This bounce right here, this bounce right here, bounce right here, bounce right here, y'all. All right, and then definitely got a level right here based on this. Because once price was doing all this chopping, once it rejected here, rejected again, sent this thing tumbling. So let's go ahead and put that on there. And we can go ahead and roll that down. Ah, for sure, bro. It's all good. Hell yeah, we trying to spread this knowledge. It's a lot of money in this. It's a lot of money in this thing. This where all the money at, really. You know what I mean? And we gonna get our piece. We gonna get our share. Big facts. All right, we got the all-time high, XLF. Let's see what we got. This thing been falling. This thing been falling all week, all month. Hit the all-time high, January 6th, and this thing been falling. I see a gap right there. Let me draw this gap right quick. Here we are. Look like we got another little gap right here too, y'all. All right, and another gap. Man, why XLF got so many gaps? Oh yeah, they did have all the bank earnings. We recently had a lot of bank earnings, and some of them was missing. Some of them banks was missing on earnings and revenue. So I think we went over some of those on the show, but that's why you see the ETF just tumbling like this. Because they was missing too many earnings, y'all. But all right, let's see. So we got some gaps here. So current price XLF 5307. Support I got 5240. Got some weekly support here at 5170. If it does end up breaking that, I do got 5108. We can put a daily right there, just in case this thing keep on falling. I'm wondering if tech does good, will money rotate out of financials and go to technology? I don't know. Because this thing is continuing to fall, I don't want to draw this support diagonal trend line here. But to the upside, we got 54.20 followed by 54.90, 55.70. We do got a lot of gaps here, so that's what we got on XLF, y'all. That's what we got on XLF. If you want to reduce your risk, you can buy ETF. ETFs are managed. Some of them are actively managed. They usually have higher expense ratios. And the ones that are passively managed, they have lower expense ratios. But it allows you to get exposure to different sectors of the market without having to guess what is the best company in that sector. So, just like if you want exposure to financial stocks, but you don't know which one to buy, you could just buy this ETF. And let's see, how has it been doing? How has XLF been doing, y'all? Since the financial crisis, it's been on an upturn. Look, so this is the 1 year chart. So this is this year. We ain't gonna count that. But last year it was up 13%. That's good. Year before that, 28%. Wow. 28%, y'all. For an ETF, that's phenomenal. That's definitely singular stock moves right there. Year before that, 9.9%. This was the down year, 2022. Only minus 12%. That's not bad, y'all. That's not too bad. Because remember what happened to technology that year, boy. Technology 2022, niggas was sweating, boy. It was down like 30% on that thing. It was incredible. 2021, 32%. You know what I mean? So, yeah. This is a very nice, this is how we like our charts to be. You know what I mean? Trending to the upside, y'all. For the most part. We're going to have little dips here and there, but it's good. All right, what other sectors do we want to check out? Let's see, how long we been on? 42 minutes. We can go an hour. What's it? I like XLY too, y'all. I like XLY. All right, XLY is our consumer discretionary ETF. You know what I mean? Where is the consumer spending that paper at? Looks like I already charted this one. So we got the current price, 123.13. All-time high, 125. Y'all, it's very close to all-time highs. This thing been running. Yeah, it's very bullish. Nice 3 days to the upside. I do see some resistance here at 123.60, followed by 124.50, and then an all-time high. Yeah, it's looking very strong. To the downside, I got some support here at 121.90, followed by 121.07. And then we got some weekly support here at 118.40. Also, we have our diagonal trend line here at, it may bounce. If it comes down and it hits at both spots, that's definitely a lot of support. All right, check out XLC. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't turn on the algo for XLK. That's what I needed to do. Let me turn on the algo for XLK. Did I? No, I did XLK. Yeah, because it was so far back. I didn't do it for XLF. There we go. Yep, there we go. All right, algo, XLF. We had a strong sell here, January 13th. The entry was 54.23. You had a good day, first day. You felt some pressure for the next 2 days, and then you hit TP1. So, had you taken that trade, you would have hit TP1 if you were able to hold these couple days of pressure to the downside. All right, so our next level, our next take profit on XLF is going to be 52.23. As you can see, the trend, the short-term trend is bearish, long-term trend is bullish, consolidation is bearish, all the momentum is bearish, y'all. So XLF, we expect it to continue to go down to the downside. Let's see if we have any more recent signal from the algo. We did have a signal, but the market was closed. It was at 1 a.m. So yeah, we still bearish on XLF. All right, check out XLY, y'all. Check out XLY. XLY on a daily. XLY, same thing. Remember we was talking about earlier with the gap down. So I had a gap down from here to here. So that faked out the algo. You did end up getting a closed signal, but it was already too late. That thing already bounced back. So let's check out the 4 hour and see if we have any more recent signal. And we do. We had a signal here on Wednesday, 9 a.m. So had you gotten into this trade at 121, you would have been very close to take profits. It did take profits in the pre-market, so you wouldn't have been able to sell, but it was very close on Friday to our TP1, y'all. All right, let's see what's next. XLC, this is our communication sector, y'all. Let's check out the communication sector and see. Oh, the thing gapped up nice. I see. Yeah, we're gonna chart this out from a blank chart, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and put this all-time high up here. All right. Then we go to the line chart. Where did price react at, y'all? Where did price react? Definitely got a reaction right here. So we're gonna go ahead and put that weekly level right there. This is basically technical analysis. Where did price react last time? Because it's probably gonna react there this time. Okay. Yeah. Man, you got a double top right there, y'all. Double top on a weekly. Let's see. Let's see if we can get some more on the daily, y'all. Definitely big reaction here. I think this was meta. Was meta been running the past few days? So Meta is one of the biggest names in XLC, so that's why this thing moved to the upside. All right, let's see what else we got. I like this one better. There we are on the daily. So I did choose this one because of this right here, this right here, this right here, and this right here over this right here, if that makes sense. All right, and then we had this reaction right here, this resistance. Go ahead and round that down. All right, let's see. Do we got any more in here? Not really. That's where price is at. That's where price is currently at. So I don't really want to put it on there. Well, let me see. Stretch it out so you can see it better. Yeah, we do got here and here. Definitely had big reactions. So yeah, let's put it right there. Even though it's very close to the current price, that's true. But what did price do, man? What did price do, y'all? If it reacted right there, we gotta put it right there. So look, right here, right here, right here, and right here, and right here. So that's why I put that line right there, y'all. All right, then let's go to the candlesticks. I think we can draw our diagonal trend line here. Support. Now we got some resistance. And we got a little gap right there too. Y'all see that gap right there? Alright. Thing gapped up. I think that's what Meta did, like $34 that day. Yeah, Meta did like $34 that day. And that thing gapping up to the upside. Yes, sir. Alright, so that's what we got. XLC. Nice bounce on the trend line. Alright, XLC current price 116.96. Support. We do got this gap right here, so most of the time when it comes to the gaps, if it doesn't bounce immediately, it will bounce at the middle of the gap. So we got some support here at 115.45, followed by the gap, and then our diagonal trend line, and then 113.50. Resistance, we're very close to resistance at 117.10, followed by a very strong weekly resistance at 117.90. And then our diagonal trend line, y'all. If we can break through that, we can get to all-time highs. It's going to be difficult, but we can do it. Meta got earnings next week on Wednesday. All right, let's check out the algo. Ooh, we got a buy. We got a fresh buy signal, y'all. We got a fresh buy signal on the daily on XLC. So if you want to take this trade on Monday, the algo lets you know that the entry is 116.96. The stop loss is 116.07. And your take profit is first take profit 117.85. TP2 118.74. TP3 119.63, y'all. Let's check out the 4 hour and see. Yeah. Oh, we had a buy in the 4 hour was even better because this was at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. You got in at 114. You already hit TP1 and TP2, and you headed to TP3. So we looking bullish. Looking very bullish on XLC, y'all. I think we can do one more. Let me see. Let's do energy because energy been running, and you know, with all the Venezuela takeover and all that stuff. All right, let's go on the weekly. Look at this. So I had a consolidation, y'all. This thing wasn't moving for nothing until this thing just took off. Alright. Let's see what we got here, folks. Alright, we got the weekly level here. Go ahead and round that down. Look, a lot of resistance right here. Sell off, sell off, sell off. We gotta put one right there too, y'all. Go ahead and round that down. All right, let's see. Nah, I don't really like that level. Well, that is a pretty big reaction, actually. I was just looking for multiple touches. Didn't see multiple touches on there, but it is a pretty big reaction from 46.97 to 43. So let's do it. Let's do it. What the price say? What the react? Is that the reaction? Yes, that's the reaction. So go ahead and put it on there. Yeah, he was looking for multiple touches, but did price react? Yes, it did. All right, so we're gonna write it on there. All right, next big reaction right here for sure. All right, here we go, and then all-time high. Oh, we just hit all-time highs. Just hit all-time highs. Oh, it's the weekly chart. I'm tripping. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, bro. Wait a minute. This is the weekly chart. Let me go on a daily. Oh yeah, look. Reject, reject. Consolidation. Reject. The level's still good, y'all. But yeah. A big reject. Barely broke over and sold off. Alright. So the levels still stand. Alright. We got a little baby gap right here. I think we do. We got a little baby gap right there, y'all. Little baby gap. So we gotta zoom in so you can see. Gotta zoom in, y'all. All-time highs. Yeah, this is yeah, this thing hit all-time highs on Friday, y'all. So I definitely wouldn't buy it now. You definitely gotta wait for a discount if you want to buy some XLE. I don't know how soon you're gonna be able to get a discount though, because you're building all these data centers, and yeah, they're gonna need a lot of electricity, y'all. A lot. All right, so it's not really much. It's not really much upside. All-time highs, y'all. To the downside, we got this gap. Current price, $49.19. To the downside, we got $48.60. If it breaks that, $47. But yeah, super bullish. Just came off of all-time highs. There's not much to say on that. All right, so that's going to be our show for today. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to everybody on YouTube Live and TikTok Live. This is our show, $1 Trillion Tickers. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Ticker family. I do this show every morning. On the weekends, we do charting. During the weekdays, when the market is open, I do pre-market levels, market open, and breaking news, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. See y'all tomorrow morning. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.